Looks like the mic just kicked on for a quick second. If you hear me, it's not working. Let's see. We're going to go with it anyway. Check, check, check. Going to be happy if someone else does its work. So your glute's going to be like, oh, QL, you want to do my work for me? Great. Right? Because always the path of least resistance. So we got to get those to turn on a little bit. We'll activate that a little bit, and we'll start to. That's some of those twists. Forward fold with the twist, downward dog with the twist. I do that all for QL. So we'll try to get into that a little bit too. We ready? Let's do it. Take a nice seat. Sit up tall. She'll see me. It's Trina, so, I'm playing around a little bit more than I might. Check, check. Check, check. Now here in child's pose, your arms are up overhead, your knees are wide, your toes are touching, and your sit bones are back to your heels. Now hold them there like you're anchoring them down. Now take a breath, and now start to breathe above your waist. So remember, your sit bones are anchored. That's below your waist. Now you're peeling forward. You can start peeling right off that pelvis on the outside there to the middle outside is your QLs. So now as you keep working this, walk your hands to the right, but don't lose the left sit bone to the left heel. And now you can start to peel in there a little bit and feel that area starting to open. You're also feeling spinal erectors on the left side. You're feeling the lat. The lat's the big one I get in this, but you tap in right here is where you're going to start to hit that QL. One more breath, and then inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle. When you're ready, walk your hands towards side 2. Then root that right sit bone into that right heel, and then start to peel up the right side of the back. You know, in my body, the more I walk my hands to the left, the lower on my back I tend to start getting. That's what I feel. Inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Hands an inch or two in front of your shoulders, knees an inch or two behind your hips. Pointer fingers, right? See how my fingers turned out a little bit. You could be either straight forward or turned out. We just don't want to be turned in this way. See what happens when I do that? Look at my shoulder. Peeling away, right? I want to be this way so I integrate more into the back of the shoulder. Pull the belly to the spine. Pull those shutters closed. Slide the throat back. Now breathe. Keep sweeping the inner heels out. Keep hugging the shins in. Keep pulling your heels to your butt. There's that low mountain we work on all the time. What I always tell you, I do not ask you to do this because it's easy. This is way harder than it seems. And then when you're ready, work your cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back, lift the sit bones, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, round the back. Look to your belly. Lengthen those sit bones towards your heels. Your inhale, arch. Your exhale, round. And just undulate through the spine here. Linking the breath to movement. So what's that mean? 2 seconds. If it's 2 seconds long for you to inhale, how long it wants to take you to arch your back. If it's 2 seconds to exhale, how long it's going to take the round. So for 2 seconds, I'm... Yep. And that's how I start to get that tempo, that rhythm with my breath. Then one more, then come to a neutral position. So find that flat back. Now the action here in spinal balance as we're trying to turn on the hip, we want to kick our leg back like we're pushing through a leg press or like we're trying to kick the wall back behind us. So on an inhale, right arm up, left leg kicks back as compared to lifting your heel to the sky. Yes. Now the thumb points up, the toes point down, pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. Exhale, lower, left arm up, right leg back. I have seen this, right? When you're trying to work some spinal erectors, it's not what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to just extend out of the hip. Exhale, lower, right arm up, left leg back. Now, we're hugging in, right, to hold the stability, but the expression is going to be reach back out of your heel, forward out of your fingertips, forward out of the crown of the head, even expanding side to side. Exhale, lower, left arm up, right leg back. So you're holding the power, right, and then you're finding the freedom. The power's the stability, the freedom's then the expression. Exhale, lower. Now put it with your breath. Challenge it a little more. So inhale, right arm up. Left leg back, exhale, lower. So remember the 2 or 3 second thing? Inhale, left arm up, right leg back. It's 2 seconds to lift the arm and the leg. It's 2 seconds to lower the arm and the leg, or whatever your breath is. You always hear me say, in this instance, in life, 2 seconds is a long time. There's a lot of shit we get done here in 2 seconds. Sometimes in life, 2 seconds is, right, real quick. But here, we can really slow that down. Now, we start at right arm and left leg. Let's finish left arm and right leg. Take your time. Balance both sides out. Finish in that low mountain. Take a breath. Step back to plank. So my shoulders are on top of my wrist crease, and I'm reaching out at my heels. That's going to be my distance. So if your feet are like this right now, you're too long. If they're like this, we never want to be here, so you're definitely too long. We want to be here. We call this dorsiflexion. Now lift your hips, push back to downward dog. You can bend your knees in that first downward dog if that feels good. You could even start to pedal your heels a little bit or swivel. You always hear me say soften the dog up on the first one, right? Just kind of check in, feel where you're going to be. I promise you we are going to spend plenty of time here in downward dog, right? So this first one, you're just checking out. What are we going to have to activate a little more? What are we going to have to open a little more? Now come to neutral. Keep hugging your hands into the midline, like you're trying to ripple your mat into the center. Now keep your forearms lifting up. Keep your inner biceps lifting up so those shoulders move out away from your neck. You're nice and broad. Slide the throat back like you're sliding your back of your throat to the front of room where the ceiling and the wall meet. Belly's in, shutters are closed. Push your hands down and forward. Take the chest back towards the toenails. Engage your legs. So sweeping the heels out, hugging the shins in, pulling the heels to the butt. Now try to straighten the legs a little bit. But if it felt better to keep your knees bent, then just bend them. If it feels better to straighten them, straighten them. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Keep it going here. We're going to do 5 of these. Link the breath to the movement. So 2 seconds to come forward to plank, 2 seconds to go back to downward dog, or whatever the length of your breath is. Moving a little more dynamic now through the arms and the chest and the shoulders and the back. This is my last one. On your 5th one, as you come forward to plank, let the exhale lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take the 3 nice breaths. So you can stay low here, right? I can come up a little bit higher. Some of you are going to come up high, whatever feels good to you. After your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Notice how you want to keep coming forward. Keep pushing the hands down and forward so the chest goes back towards your shins or your toenails. Yep. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take the 3 nice breaths. Control everything. It's easy to move fast to the floor. Don't let it. Control it. After the 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Hug that knee to your chest as long as you can as you step it through. Yep. And then high in your fingertips are your blocks. We want this back leg to be as straight as possible, right? So if this back knee is doing this to you, you're going to stay up high in the ball of the foot. It'll help you straighten the leg a little bit more. If you feel comfortable here, holding the back leg up, reach your heel back this way. Yep. But we're still like we always do. We're pushing down, right? We're hugging in, front to back, top to bottom. We're lifting that left thigh up. We're softening that right thigh down. We're pulling that pelvic floor up, like from your junk. Pull your belly in. Pull your shutters closed. Yep, heart's reaching out front. Throat's back. Gaze is out front where we're looking. And we're reaching out of the crown of the head. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale the arms in front. Take them up. Yep. Let the right hand grab the left wrist. Inhale is going to go up. Exhale is going to go just a little bit to the right. Keep pulling the shutters closed. That's how we're going to get into this psoas. If this happens, we shorten the space. If this happens, we lengthen the space. Maybe go a little deeper. One more breath. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down. Take your blocks up a little higher, and then shift your hips back, come to baby Hanuman. Now, baby Hanuman or runner stretch, we would just shift back this way. I know some of you it's going to be a little more comfortable to take the knee back a little bit. Go for it. Now, to keep this knee on the right side from hyperextending, see, the kneecap's trying to push to the mat. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to push my right heel down, and I'm going to pull it back to me like I'm doing this action, but I'm not really moving my leg, right? I'm just creating the energy. That's going to keep my knee micro-bending. I'm going to pull my kneecap up to my waist. See my quads fired up? I want that. I square this left hip forward a little bit. Now, if I stay up a little taller, I'm holding neutral, right? If we were in Hanuman where the back leg was back, we'd be in the back leg a little more. But since we're in runner stretch, we're kind of making it a little easier to get into the front leg. So maybe walk the blocks forward a little bit, hug the big toe mountain in so the toes are pointing straight up, and then maybe fold to the inside of that right thigh a little bit. We're going to move the back leg back eventually. We'll see where it goes, either Hanuman or Hanuman up the wall when we hit inversions later, one or the other. One more breath. Then as you look forward, bend into that lead knee. Place the hands down. Lift that back knee. Downward dog. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Hug that knee to your chest. Hug, 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 hug. Step it through. Shit was harder than it sounded, right? It's challenging, for sure. Now, spread your toes. Whoosh. Yep, set those roots. Get the outer edge of the foot nice and solid. Look at the arch come back to life. So the second toe lines up with the middle of your ankle. See if my arch collapses, it lines up with the big toe, the inside. So find that space. Now, as you keep pushing down, keep hugging in. So we're trying to pull lots of muscle energy in, because the more energy we pull in, the more we can then express out. Now, we talked about the back leg on the last one. On the front leg, remember the hips in flexion, but we got to clear this. So the way to do it is pull your heel back to you, right? I'm doing this action. As I pull my heel back, then my knee reaches forward. And that's how I can get organic expansion even in this closed hip. One more breath. That's not a Yoga 101 thought, right? We're getting a little deep. Exhale, lower the back knee. Start dragging the back knee forward. Let the arms come in front. Take them up overhead. Then the left hand's going to grab the right. I'm going to pull those shutters closed. Slide the head and throat back. Slide the arms back a little bit. Yep, now take that little side bend to the left. Yep. Now, whatever your angle on, like as you drag the front knee forward, breathe up. And then I go even deeper into that. Yep, whatever angle I'm on, I drag that back knee, I pull it all the way up through the upper trunk, I get tall, and I go even deeper into the pose. One more breath. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, the hands down to the blocks. Shift back. If you need to pad your knee a little more, you take your mat like this, and you roll it over this way. And then your knee could get a little more cushion. Got to make sure I'm not hyperextending, right? That's one of the more important, misalignments that you're going to have to concentrate on. So remember, the idea was to push our heel down and pull it back to us. Now I pull it right up. So I'm hugging shins in. I pull it up into the quad. Like I'm trying to pull my kneecap up to my waist. I still got my hamstring on because that's what I did when I pulled my heel back, right? So this is nice and safe because it's engaged. Now maybe I stretch it. As I fold, though, my chest goes first. What's going to want to go first? Your chin. Of course it is, right? It does that all day long. So it's opposing forces. Let the chest come forward, but slide the throat back. That's like a ton of work right there. But see what happens in my spine, how nice and straight it is? Look where my head is, not here. Yep. A couple more breaths. And then as you look forward, bend into that lead knee. Place the hands down. Lift the back knee, downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Work on your breath, not my voice. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Exhale, lower back to chaturanga, or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog 2 more times. Flow through. Control everything. Accelerate, decelerate, and stabilize. That means start, stop, and hold. We'll meet back in downward dog. From downward dog, look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up, take that nice big reach. Exhale, hands to the tops of your thighs. Heel of the hands, right at the crease of the hip. Sit back. You're taking like the pressure from your arms and the weight of your upper body, and you're pushing it down into the tops of your thighs. They attach here, the quads, at the hip bone. So we're putting our hand here, and we're persuading this way. Yep. Belly's in, shutters are closed. Push down, rise up, swing the arms up. Belly's in, sit bones down. Maybe curl back. Don't let those hips come forward. That's what we talked about earlier. The wrong muscles are working, right? Then we're going into the anterior pelvic tilt. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Right hand to the outside of the left calf or shin. Left hand to your fingertips, your block, your hip. Now we'll take that little twist. You'll feel that QL area a little bit here. Keep the hips, keep the legs, right, charged, and the hips neutral, which means your hip bone, your knee, and the outside of your ankle are all in one line as compared to your hip being back too far or forward too far. Inhale, unwind, pause, right, like settle down the middle, then swap side two. This is the visual if you're not sure. See, this wants to happen. This wants to happen. I need to be right here. Hip, knee, lateral condyle, lateral malleoli. This whole thing lines up. Now I could take that twist. Yep, I could even maybe start to look up. Yep. Another breath or two here. A little longer hold as we get into this area. This is one of our spots today. Inhale, come back to center. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Take that big reach. And bring that right hand behind your back. Bring that left hand to your elbow. Lean forward. Remember, this is one I talk about all the time too. This wants to happen. Scapular retraction, this and this go hand in hand. So it gets to be a little bit of a challenge when we go into this position, right? Because it wants to force all this into this place. So keep it back this way. Yeah, because here's the crease in my hip. Now stand up tall, pull your shutters closed, and push your head into your forearm, and you'll get that feedback. You'll be able to stand up in more of that neutral position. Yep, exhale, release. Inhale the arms up, swap side two. And as you draw your hands up, we intensify this stretch. You're going to feel a couple different things. I always do this for lat, but for some of us, tricep, serratus anterior, pec, a lot of shit comes through this junction here. There's a lot of stuff. Use that force feedback to stand up nice and tall. Nice, y'all. These are awesome. And then exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Like, y'all know, even the easy shit isn't really easy, right? Because it's so mindful. Like, we want to get every little bit of alignment that we can. But that's what we're doing, right? That's like one of our main components of yoga, to be mindful, to feel, to work towards your best self, right? That's like one of our like classic bumper sticker lines. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. The back of the legs again, so keep those engaged. Your sit bones here should be anchoring down, not up. If they're going up, you're stressing those attachments in a way that you don't want to stress. For as important as our hamstrings are and as strong as they can be, like their attachment is whack. It's so tiny compared to what you think it would have, right? Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, take that big reach. Maybe curl back into it a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step that right leg back, lunge. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 1 crescent. Right hand goes across the body. Bring it to the outside of that left thigh. When your left hand meets your right, push them together. Yeah. Now use that energy to start to open the chest towards the sky a little bit more. If you want to take the arms up, go for it. The right arm, the hand goes to the outside of your foot. The left hand's going to reach to the sky. Yeah. One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior 1. Pull the shutters closed. Maybe curl back. Exhale the hands down. Now push from the right foot to the left heel. We're going to get this glute to kick on as we step forward. Yep. Reach the left leg back. Lunge. We're extending out of the hip. More glute. Inhale, come up. Left hand. Go across. See where I got to get long here? Side body. Then I can twist into the space. Then when I push my hands together, I use that force feedback to twist deeper. Keep your belly in, keep your shutters closed so we're getting good rotation in our twist. Reach the heel back, keep reaching the front knee forward, reach up out of the crown of the head, maybe look up. If you're flaring the arms, go for it. Inhale, come back to that warrior 1. Maybe curl back. Exhale the hands down. Push from the left foot to the right heel. Step forward. Swing the arms up. Nice, y'all. Exhale, hands in front. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Let your thumbs flick your heart out. Close your eyes. Mountain pose. But just with a chill little variation here, right? We'll check in. We'll rest a little bit. Go back to the breath. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Do a few rounds of these. And then gently open your eyes. Release your hands. Y'all know I like the little flick the heart out thing, right? Ain't got shit to do with Valentine's Day, because I don't usually deem classes around the holidays, but like, where else do you go? You're willing to like flick your heart out for somebody, right? That's some crazy shit. But what I always tell you about the energy you create here, that's why, right? You're willing to do that for each other. That's such a valuable thing. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Curl back. That's why we say our kula, right? Our yoga family. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog, move through 1 vinyasa. Right, when you come to the yoga room, you know, you can be your authentic self. We are here to support you, right? We want that. We honor that. That's one of our like main phrases, especially, right? Teachers, when they're going through teacher training, that is hammered into their head, your authentic voice, right? Be your authentic self, right? Be you, man. We want to support and love you, right? That's the idea. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Maybe I am theming over Valentine's Day. I don't know. Maybe it's happening. Spin that back heel, bent arm to bent knee. I'm in an extremely emotional time in my life, so it's very easy for me to do that, right? Like, plug the arm in, sweep that bicep up along the cheek. Yep, if you want to take right hand down to the block or the floor, go for it. Now, the left thigh roots back, right? We're opening the inside of the right thigh. So if your right knee is collapsing in like this, it's because these muscles are trying to stretch. That's probably pretty common. Take a breath and open your right side body because we got to clear that flexed hip on the right side. Now, as you reach your right sit bone towards your right heel, so down, it's going to open your knee out. If you sweep your heel to the left, it's going to open your knee out. Inhale, come up, warrior 2. Push that front leg straight. Get tall here. Hinge at the right hip, come into triangle, Trikonasana. There's that right side body again. Don't let that crescent, side crescent take over. This wants to take over, you want to go this way. Yeah, maybe look up. Maybe even rotate open so you take the top of the ribs back, the bottom of the ribs forward. One more breath. Push into the front foot. Inhale, come up tall. Bend into that lead knee. Warrior two. Spin the hands down to the floor. Spin that back heel up. Step back. Downward dog, one vinyasa. Stay with your breath. Nice pace, y'all. Heart rate probably came up a little bit there, right? So the pace probably got a little bit faster through your vinyasa because we just linked all these poses together. We were holding these poses. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. There's that knee to the chest again, right? Now when you spin the back heel, if you can't get this thigh back, you take your hands to the inside of that left foot and you stick your butt back like this. Now the thigh's back. Now I'm going to climb the elbow to the thigh. The first thing I want to do is pull my belly button towards my spine. So I start to come up straight. Yeah, I'm going to open the hip flexor first. Then I'm going to start lengthening the sit bone to the heel and opening up the adductor a little bit deeper. Yep. If you're plugging the arm in, plug it in, sweep it up. If you're taking that left hand down, take it down. But keep working that belly button towards the spine. Keep those shutters closing. Nice, y'all. Now, soften your face. Settle into the pose. Yeah. One more breath. As you push down, inhale, come up. Warrior two. Take the breath. Push the front leg straight. Nice and conscious, right? Look, I'm holding on all that energy. Get nice and tall. Yup, hinge at the left side of the hip. Don't let anything go. Hang on everything. Keep pulling your feet together, front to back. Keep those hips from cracking. Open up that left side body, so squeeze the right. Start to look up a little bit. Maybe start to rotate open. That's the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. Now, breathe. Push into your front foot. Inhale, come up tall. Bend into that lead knee. Take the breath. Spin the hands down to the floor. Spin the back heel up. Downward dog, one vinyasa. Nice, y'all. From downward dog, exhale, lower your knees. All right, grab a drink, wipe your face, take a little break, whatever feels good. Take a couple breaths here. All right, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours. Turn your hands out while we're here. Get our little forearm bicep stretch. What's the belly going to try to do here? Go to the floor or the ceiling? What's the misalignment? Floor. So which way do you got to bring it? Towards your spine, right? To the ceiling. Yeah. This is the visual. It wants to do this. This. So you could go here. It's not going to go the whole way. It's going to drop here. So you're going to go, boop. Now, what if I went here? Too much, right? So you got to find where that sweet spot is. Inhale, unwind. Sit back on the heels. Give those wrists a little bit of a spin. And then inhale, come up, exhale, hands down. When you're ready, step back to plank and downward dog. And just work through one vinyasa as we start to rev it up a little bit. Take the right hand to the outside of the left shin or calf here. There's one of those twists. You're going to feel, you should feel that in that like QL area. Inhale, unwind, place that hand down. Swap side two. Keep pushing that base hand down and forward. And keep the hips going back towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe peek underneath the arm. Inhale, unwind. Roll to the outside of the right foot. Stack the left foot on top or in front. Keep turning the bicep forward. Yep. You want to play a little bit, spread the toes, reach that, lift the left leg up, lower it back down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, bring it down. Next inhale, come back to plank. Keep breathing. Push back, downward dog. Here's the back side here. I'll show you the back of the shoulder. Roll to the outside of the left foot, inside of the, or stack that right foot on top. See what I'm doing? I'm turning my bicep forward. And as the bicep goes forward, I'm rooting into the upper back. Then if I want to play, I charge those legs up and I lift that. I'm leading with the outside of the heel. Lower it down. Inhale it up. Control it. Exhale down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. One more breath. Inhale, come back to plank. Breathe. Plank. Yes. Keep pushing down. Yeah, come on, we're going for it. Keep pushing down. Keep hugging your forearms in. Keep pushing down. Keep sweeping your heels out and hugging your shins in. Keep those legs fiery. Squeeze those biceps in your arm. Pull your bellies in. Yep. Pull your shutters closed. Breathe. Lift your right leg up. Take it out to the right. Lower it down. Lift it up. Cross it outside of the mat. Bring it back up and in. Come on, stay with it. We're all together. Lower it down. Lift the left up. Take it to the outside of the mat. Touch it down. Lift it up. Bring it in across the body. Yes. Bring it back up and in. Lower it down. Lower your knees. That was a hell of a minute, right? Ooh. That's where it's at, though, right? Did you make it? Yeah. Which means next time you want to do less or more? More, right? That's the game. That's the game. You just keep moving the edge, right? I mean, is there a limit? Of course, there's a limit. I'm not going to do 5-minute planks with y'all in here, right? It's maybe not the best use of our time, but at home, set this shit up. You want to have done my longest hold? I turned on the television one time and Eddie Murphy Delirious was on. Talk about an easy 15 minutes, dude. I was just like, laughing and shit. Next thing I know, 15 minutes went by and I was like, all right, I'm done. All because of Eddie Murphy Delirious, right? It didn't work as good with Raw, but Delirious, it worked. All right, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down. Take those knees wide, bring those feet together, come to child's pose. Just take a couple breaths here. Let your forehead touch the mat. Yep. Rest a little bit here. Sometimes, you know, with me, we make it a little more active in our child's pose. Go ahead and rest. Well earned here. And full breath in, complete breath out. I tell y'all all the time, right? You're super strong. You have it in there, right? You just got to figure out how to bring it out. And bring it out most of the time in this instance, it's just accepting that you're diving into the work. Inhale, come up. But remember, the work here is fun, right? Which makes it a little more accessible. All fours will meet. And then from here, step back to plank, and then downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Exhale, lower the back knee. We're going to go lizard into twisted monkey, okay? So you want to take your right foot out to the edge of your mat, and you could even turn the toes open that little bit. I tend to always link these up when we do them because they work pretty good for the same complex here. So we'll get into this. So you see, when I open my toes, it just makes it a little more accessible to get into this space a little. Now, the pose is asymmetrical, which means your left hip is going to be lower than your right. But the common misalignment is that when we lower our arms, this hip wants to collapse like this. Right now, I got to build it back up. So if you lower your right arm, your inside arm first, it'll help hold this thigh up. Then let your left hand come to meet it. Now, if you can lower both your arms at the same time and you don't lose that left hip, awesome. If the little trick helps you a little bit, same awesome. Now, I could be up here. All right, give myself some more space wherever I want to be. Now we're in super flexion, deep flexion of that right thigh. So what is the action that we said? What do you got to do with the heel? Pull it back to you, right? And then what are you going to do with the knee? Reach it forward, like I'm doing this. Like I'm pulling my knee forward. Yep. Now, if you want to get even fire on that back thigh, you're going to lift the back knee. And whoo, really starts to open up right at the crease of that hip. Reach the heel back. Reach the front knee forward. Look forward. Keep looking out in front of you. Yeah, that way we keep the spine nice and long. One more breath. If the knee's up, lower it down. Inhale, come up halfway or so. Bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand. You can shift back this way to keep the hamstring from trying to fire up on you on the back leg. Then you can shift back forward, if that helps some of y'all. Now take your left hand and walk it up so that your thumb is right across from your big toe. And take your left hand to the edge of your mat, maybe even off your mat, because you're going to use it like a kickstand. Now open the chest. Yep, there's the twist. Now work the quad stretch. So drag the back knee forward, pull the belly button to the spine, draw the heel to your sit bone. Yeah, lean back into that left arm. Open the right, yes, spin the shoulder back. You could use it like a kickstand, lean back. Pull the belly and the shutters closed though so you don't manipulate the ribs. You'll deepen the twist here. Then maybe start to draw that heel even a little bit deeper towards that sit bone. Yeah, one more breath. Watch the boing, so control it. Inhale, come back to center. Wiggle the foot back in. Take a breath. Lift the back knee. Downward dog. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Lower the back knee. How's the hug in the knee to the chest coming through? Getting a little bit better as you go on? Yeah, right? Start to turn those muscles on and they start to catch on a little bit. Take the left foot out to the side. Open the toes a little bit. Then we're going to lower our left arm down is the trick. Yep. What you're trying to do, so your misalignment is the path of least resistance, right, in your body. And your body's always going to go to that. But then your body's going to start to recognize every time that I go into a misalignment, they move me back into place, right? Which means I got to do two moves. Is that the path of least resistance? No. So then your body says, you know what? I have to create muscle memory because I only want to do this action once. If you want to lift the back knee, go for it. So that's how you start to find the alignment because the muscle memory starts remembering. And it says, oh, I don't want to do it twice, so I better get it right the first time. Right? And that's how it starts to get more efficient. Like our body, it goes both ways. It can be really silly sometimes, and other times it can be so intelligent, right? But that's balance. Because misalignments are just silly, right? It's our body just letting go. One more breath. And then lower the knee. Inhale, come up. So if I stay here, right, I could pull my heel to my butt. If this is accessible for you, go for it. But if you feel like this locks your hamstring up, then shift your hips back to grab that ankle of the foot of the strap. And then shift back forward. Yep. Now your right thumb is going to be across from your left big toe. You're going to open the chest towards the sky. So the twist is first. Then we're going to start to draw that heel towards the sit bone. But don't lose dragging the back knee forward. Dragging the front heel back, reaching the front knee forward. Belly button the spine. Working the twist, so opening up that left side of the chest to the sky, and then drawing that heel to the sit bone. Right? Always a ton of shit in yoga because it's mindful. It isn't just like, yeah, go for it, right? It's about, now, take a breath, set a foundation, engage, and then express as optimally as you can. One more breath. Watch the boing as you release. Inhale, come back to center, wiggle the foot back in, place the hand, lift that back knee, downward dog. Pedal, swivel, wiggle a little bit here. Feels nice through the front of that hip. And then come to neutral. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, pigeon. So work from the feet. So on the front foot, I'm going to push out of the big toe mound. I'm going to pull the pinky toe side of the foot back. On the back foot, I'm going to work from either my toes curled for more power or my toenails flat for more extension. It's not a right or wrong. Now I'm going to hug in, right? Because at any moment that my hands come off the floor, I don't lose any of this. There's that much power in my pose. Then if I want to fold, I pull the pelvic floor up, I pull the belly and the shutters closed so I get tall, and then I fold. What comes down first, your chest or your chin? Your chest. What wants to come first? Your chin. So do the opposing force thing. Chest goes forward, throat goes back. Yeah. Now, if your arms are out to the side, if your forearms are down, just make sure that you're not collapsing into your arms, but you're pushing your arms down and you're feeling a lift from the ground. Because that means we're controlling it, right? A collapse has no control. Now we're nice big opener here in the back of the hip and down the back of the leg. Full breath in, complete breath out. One more breath. And then inhale, come up, place the hands, take a breath. When you're ready, lift the hips, unwind that right leg back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Now come forward, right knee to left elbow. Kick the leg out to the side. See if you can float it off the floor. Yeah, inhale, come back to center. Take it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, right knee to left elbow. Kick the leg out to the side, hover it. Yep, inhale, unwind it, take it back. Let's do one more. Come forward, take that leg out to the side. Inhale, unwind, and then back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Lower that right leg, take a breath. When you're ready, reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, pigeon. Yep, so take that left knee nice and wide to the edge of the mat. Keep pushing down, keep hugging in, right? Remember, at any moment, I hold my foundation. And then if I want to fold, pelvic floor up, belly in, shutters closed, heart's reaching out front, throat back, gaze out front, reach through the crown of my head. Then I'm ready to come down into the fold. Because that means I made as much space as I can, right? And then I'm going to move into the space. Chest goes first, throat sliding back. Feel that blend of power and freedom, right? The power is the muscle energy. The freedom is the organic. So we hug in, right, to hold everything stable, but then we feel this nice opener here in the back of the hip, down the back of the leg here. Couple more breaths. And then from here, inhale, come up, place the hands, take another breath, lift the hips, unwind that left leg back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. When you're ready, come forward. The left knee goes towards the right elbow. We kick the leg out to the side. Unwind, take it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. come forward, kick it out to the side, and back. One more time. And then exhale, lower that left leg. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up, take a big reach. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Nice, y'all. Grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. If you like to invert in the middle of the room, you're always welcome to stay in the middle of the room. Yep, whatever feels good to you. Oh, it came back. Okay. Yeah, you can push that in there if you want. If you're at home, you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back. Knees are bent. You can interlace your hands behind the back of your thigh, take a bunch of breaths, and then you can swap into side two. If you're at home or in the studio, if it's not your day to invert, you're always welcome to go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you, okay? I'm going to talk everyone through downward dog and L pose. If you want to work your handstands, your headstands, your tripods, your pinches, anything you want to play with, go for it. If you want to do Hanuman up the wall, okay? If you're going to go Hanuman up the wall, you're going to do the split. Does anybody want to demo Hanuman up the wall? You see how I tried to sell it? I looked this way first. I was like, and you don't mind, do you? Okay. No, spin. Yep. Split. Yep. You want to do that hollow back. That's probably what I had to do last night as well. So we split up the wall, okay, is what we're going to go for. Now, you see as Beck walks her hands back, you see how like that right hip's a little higher than the left? So she keeps squaring it down, right? Yeah. But there's going to be a point where she can't square it no more. When she can't, she's going to pull her left toes off the floor. See that? And what does she do? She scissors to the midline. Look at the hip square. Now she's going to try to reach that left leg back to the floor. So she pulled in, yeah, and then she tries to extend it back out. And then when you're ready, you lower down, right? Right? Now, the closer her arms are towards the wall, the deeper the split's going to be. Right? So if you want to try to get it more accessible, your arm's going to be a little more forward. And if you want to make it a little more challenging, your hands are going to be walking back. All right? So if you want to play with that, feel free, go on your own. Since we got some people in the middle, I'm just going to let you work on that on your own, and I'm going to take everybody through downward dog and L pose. Okay? So if you want to stick with me, downward dog and L pose, we're in all fours, hands and knees, our feet are touching the wall. If you're going to work your headstands, your handstands, headstands, tripods, pinches, go for it. Okay? So with me, all fours, hands and knees. Set it up. Feet are touching the wall. When you're ready, lift the knees and the hips. Come to a short downward dog. When you're ready from here, step one foot up the wall and then the second foot up the wall. With your knees bent, you're in downward dog inverted. With your legs straight, you're in L pose. You can play between the two. Pinches going on in the middle of the room there, forearm stand. You could play with your pincha. We opened some of that stuff up today, taking those arms overhead, opening those lats. If you need another quad stretch, go leg up the wall, right? Do your quad stretch. Play with what feels good to you. These are awesome, y'all. And remember, what's the challenge here? To be as cool, calm, and collected upside down as you are when you're standing in Tadasana. That's the challenge. Like this. Then move your pinky to the inside. Yeah, so you don't squish it, right? If it was on the outside, it'd be getting squished. Move it to the inside. Yep. Now place your head into your hands. Higher on your head. Think of like where a baby's head would be soft, the very, very top of your skull you want to be. So I go here, right? I interlace, and then I move that pinky out of the way, and then I place my top of my head. See how high I am? And I cup the back of my head with my hands, and then I come up this way.
Now I load up my arms. I keep plugging this way back into my upper back, and that's where I'm going to kick up from. Does that make sense? Yep. Now put your head in there and get nice and high. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now hug your elbows in more. Yes. More. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It should just feel like you got more power in your arms and shoulders. Like, yeah. Now think, root your head down, but keep going up. Because you don't want weight to bear down. You want weight to keep going up. So reach out of your heels. Reach out of your heels. Yes. That's how you get. So I ask you most of the time in your inversions to reach out of your heels. Right? Why do I do that? What are we going to get a better connection in? The back body. Right? When you point your toes, you're going to get this connection here. Right? Just like if we were to train, when you train in something in this position, you're going to train your quads. When you train in this position, you're going to train your glutes. So when you reach out of your heels, you're going to get more connection here. When we're right side up, where do we have a better connection, front or back body? Front. When we're upside down, where do you think you're going to have a better connection? Front body. It's not just going to be like, oh, I'm ass over head. Oh, yeah, I can figure out the other side. It's going to make it harder, right, to figure out the other side. So when you do things like reach out of your heels, it just gives you better connection in your hips, which means you go which way, up or down? Up. And that's what we want, right? We want to rebound the energy up. So push down, rise, right, root to rise. Another one of those like classic yoga like one-liners. Are we about inverted out? So give yourself like 30 seconds. Go for it if you want to kick up one more time. If that meant something to you and you want to try that, go for it. Nice, y'all. And then when you're ready, let's meet on our backs. So you know you could always take the block underneath the sacrum for supported bridge. If you're not sure where your sacrum is, that's the top of your pelvis. It's this solid part that's right here. Here's my lumbar, right, which is going to be too high, my lumbar spine. Here's my crack. That's going to be too low. I got to be right here, solid spot. And then I take the brick and I put this right here like this. So I could be in this position. See, then I could take my shoulders under and I could have this nice support here in the hips and I could work the upper back. I've told some of y'all in the past, we didn't do like a lot of back bendy stuff today, but if we were doing back bends and I needed a deep back bend, it's not wheel. It's not drop back. For me, the deepest back bend comes from supported bridge, right? Because that's going to give me the ability to really crack that heart open. Now, if you want to work supported bridge, work supported bridge. If you want to work bridge, the first one, and then wheel the second one, I'm going to talk you through, and we're going to do a couple variations to kind of turn the glutes on here as well a little more. So here we go. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor, they're hips width apart. Feel your heels with your fingertips so that you know your knees are going to stack up on top of your ankles. That's how we know we're in neutral. Sacrum's flat, belly, so belly buttons to spine. Shutters are closed, head and shoulders are back. When you're ready, charge the legs, stay with that core engagement, and then slowly lift the hips. Now I tell you all the time, y'all are strong. If you lift up too high, your knees are going to splay out the side and you're going to go thighs forward. That's too much. Make sure you're still able to keep the lightest little crease in the front of your hip. That's thighs back. Maybe take the shoulders under a little bit deeper now. You could go here with robot. See how my arms are bent? So I'm using this as a little bit more support so I could really take those shoulders under deep. Now as I hold this, I gently push my feet forward and the back bend happens right underneath my shoulder blades. Now if I want to stay here, I stay here. Maybe I want to reach the right leg out. I reach out of the heel. I lower it down. Don't let the left hip collapse when you reach the left leg out. Keep that hip lifting up. Yes. Then lower the leg down. Take a breath. Slowly lower the hips. Get the sacrum to land first. So belly button to spine, sit bones to the backs of your knees. And then as you land, take your feet wide, let your knees touch. Bring one hand on your heart and one hand on your low belly. And then full breath in and complete breath out. Now on this second one, I'm going to talk you into bridge and then the wheel, okay? If you want to play bridge with your variations, go for it. I'm going to talk everybody into wheel. If you want to play in the wheel, go for it. You can also kick the leg out and wheel. I know some of you do that. You can play with that when I get you up. All right? Here we go. Inhale, open the knees, reset the feet. Bring the arms back along the sides and find that neutral position. Because if we work from neutral, our body's going to start accepting that, right? If we work from a misalignment, our body's going to accept that. Here we go. As we charge and engage, slowly lift the hips. Bridge. Take the shoulders under a little deeper. Stay here if you want. You want to go with wheel, place your hands wide, and you should be able to have like your pinkies feeling the floor. So you're to the edges of your mat. Now turn your hands out so your elbows come in, and then you're going to plug your shoulders back. Now keep those legs charged, push down to come up, wheel. Yeah, pump your heart towards that wall you're looking at. Keep the belly button in. Keep the sit bones lengthening to the back of your knees. And then stay engaged as you lower down. See if you get that sacrum to land flat. Sometimes you hear me say that's like the detail. And then take the feet wide, let the knees touch. If your right hand was on your heart, left hand on your heart, and then your opposite hand on your belly. And then open the knees, windshield wiper side to side. When you balance both sides out, come to neutral. Hug those knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug or make a couple small circles here. Come to neutral. Keep the right knee in, take the left leg out. Bring the back of that left thigh to the floor. Interlace the hands behind that right thigh as you reach the heel to the sky. There's that split again. Keep your left toes pointing straight up to the sky. Left kneecap straight up to the sky. Right leg, toes and kneecap right over your head. Maybe deepen the stretch a little bit more. But keep rooting the back of the thigh, pushing your left heel down into the floor. Then bend the knee, lower the leg, hug the left knee in. Take the right leg out, bring the back of the thigh to the floor. So you might have to lower your left knee forward to get that to happen. Then interlace the hands behind your left thigh as you reach the heel to the sky. Now drive, like see this right heel? I'm pushing down into the floor. Now try to go for the split. This is extension. This is flexion. You're not going to get flexion unless you have a root, the extension. So in this pose, in any time in this situation, this is the more important leg. So push the bottom leg down. And you'll feel that as you push the bottom one down, you'll get more flexion out of the left because now it has something it can pull. Muscles only pull, they don't push, right? So they need something to pull against. And then bend the knee, lower down, take both legs out straight, reach the arms up overhead, spread the fingers, spread the toes, feel all that space we made. And hug your knees to your chest and rock yourself up. All right, we're gonna get into that QL one more time, Janu Sirsasana. Okay, this is a real good way to get into it. So I always start wide because I like to work from neutral, right? So start with your legs wide, then you're gonna bend your right leg and bring your heel either to your pubic bone, which will be more challenging, or to the inside of your thigh. I'm to the inside of my thigh. This is a little easier space for me to hold, but whatever feels good to you. Reach down, you're gonna pull the sit bone out and back. Same thing here on this thigh. You're gonna pull it back, sit bone, and turn the thigh in a little bit. There's my kneecap and my toes pointing straight up to the sky. Where did it come from? Here. And what did I do? This, right? So now I'm nice and neutral. Now inhale, take the arms up. You're gonna twist towards that left leg and fold to the inside of the leg. Yep. Now, to get into that QL a little bit more. You're going to take your right hand to the pinky toe side of your foot. Right away. You feel this right here? We're over here. Now, like you're pushing on a gas pedal, persuade forward a little bit. And there's that QL. Great little opener in there. But don't let this happen. Look out in front of your foot. Yeah, you're not going to get there, but that's where you want to shoot for. You know you don't want to go down in here, right? Because that's just going to be a misalignment. One more breath. And then inhale, come up nice and tall. Exhale, hands in front. Yep. Take that right leg out. Bend the left. Take that left thigh. See, I even hit it from this side. I just kind of do this, and I shoot that sit bone back and out. And then same thing here. Active, right? Get everything to fire up. When you're ready, inhale the arms up. Twist towards that right leg, and then fold to the inside of that right leg. Go easy here. Then the little trick is your left hand with the thumb down goes to the pinky toe side of the foot. And there's that QL. And then you persuade the gas pedal a little bit and open that up. Yeah, nice pose, y'all. A few more breaths here. Take your time. Now we're really opening these up. So when you inhale, come up nice and tall. Yep. Exhale, hands in front. Take both legs wide. Then bring them in. Then lay back. Nice, y'all. Just take those arms up overhead. Take another little stretch here. And when you're ready, hug those knees to your chest. Take those knees wide and come to happy baby. In happy baby, those knees are nice and wide, so they're wider than your shoulders. And you're going to start to draw your knees towards your ears. There's going to be this nice opener in the inside of the thighs, this nice opener in the back of the hip. And then you can rock side to side. You can reach one leg out or both legs out, whatever feels good to you. And when you're ready, inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'll talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation. In the hip flexors here, if you take a blanket or your blocks and you put them behind your knees like this, you see how as it lifts the bottom of my femur up, the top of my femur roots back. So there's that light little crease at my hip. That should feel nice and comfortable for you. So if you want to let those hip flexors rest a little more, that would be the way. The blanket's a little more comfortable than the blocks, but if the blocks are what you have, they work. Then here as we lay back, we let the legs stretch out and the feet gently roll open. We let the arms come along the sides. And as the arms come along the sides, we take the shoulders back. We let the palm turn open to the sky. That open palm is going to draw the energy in. We're going to let our head rest back. Maybe we let our eyes close and our tongue soften from the roof of the mouth as we let our body get heavy. Our mind, it softens, turns back to the breath. Our heart, it opens, collects the practice. Your heart's what brought you to the mat today. It will then move the yoga into everything you do. It'll bring you back to practice again. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feeling the breath as it washes over the body. Your toes, your fingers, the crown of your head, through your heart. We always reawaken that better version of ourselves. Ready for life's next challenge. Fingers and the toes wiggle. Arms and the legs begin to stretch or reach, move in a way that feels good to you. Taking your time, moving slowly. When you're ready, maybe you hug your knees to your chest. We roll towards the right side. Take your hands underneath your head. Let's make a little pillow and take a couple breaths here. Let's give ourselves that opportunity to reacclimate. And then when you're ready, push your hands down. We'll come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts. One more time to seal in our practice, our time together, the sound of Om. Deep breath in. So we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work, and that determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, y'all. Good to see everyone. You know, if you have any questions, get me before you go. Home crew, you know, if you need me, hit me up. Maybe I'll see some of y'all next Tuesday or Thursday or Friday or next Saturday. If not, I'll see you soon. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's fun.